Hello, Raju sir, can you hear me? Hello, sir. Sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Sir, your voice is clear, sir. Can you turn on your camera?
Hello.
Sir, I can hear you. Can you turn on your camera, please?
मुझे लग रहा है उसको दोबारा रजिस्टर करके उसको कर ले। मैंने बंद कर दिया तो मेरे में नहीं दिख रहा है। आप उसे लॉगिन करो। कर लिया। Hello.
Sir. Sir, I can hear you, but your camera is not on. Raju sir, can you turn on your camera? You can give a try.
Hello. I will just switch off. Just a moment. Just a moment. Can you see?
Yeah, amazing. On a beach.
Your voice is not there.
On a beach.
No.
Clear?
I can't hear you.
Hello. Sir, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? No. Now? Now, can you hear me?
Hello.
Sir, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Now is okay. Now is okay. Now is okay. Yeah, previously, there was some sound error.
Okay, perfect.
So, how are you?
I'm good.
Very nice. So, you have given me the screen share. Should I try it for sharing the screen? Let me see if I can.
Yeah, please.
This will stop other screen sharing. Do you want to continue? Should I try it?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. This will be okay, and I'll say share it. Can you see?
Yeah, I can hear. I can see that.
It's okay.
Yeah, perfect.
So I will just stop sharing, then I will go in my natural mode.
Perfect, sir. So
Good.
probably like I'll share the same screen again, and participants are coming up.
Yeah, that's good.
So we'll wait for another.
Not an issue. Not an issue. You take your own time. I'm there.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So we'll start, sir. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining at AIC Raise SDG Saturdays. So we have today Rajiv sir from United Nations Technology Innovation Lab. So we AIC Raise very proud to host this one because we heard about sustainable development goals and we don't know how it works. So SDG Saturdays is basically an initiative to create more education about SDGs and Agenda 2030. So probably we will be sharing a small presentation about what AIC Raise and what we do. So AIC Raise is a Atal Innovation Mission supported NITI Aayog startup incubator located in Coimbatore, backed by proud Rathinam Group of Institutions. So we search startups who can serve the world or who can catalyze the Agenda 2030. So we back for-profit mission-driven founders who build startups and innovations which can already solve social and environmental problems. Mainly, we focus on social impact and social innovation startups, and we help the startups to supercharge their growth along with mentoring, market connect, we will be able to give the B2B, B2C, and B2G connects for the startups, along with seed capital for their catalyzing their growth. And we have a great workspace at Coimbatore, and we have capacity building programs, other training programs for the founders to build better startups. And we focus startups who works with sustainable development goals. So how we can solve social innovation or social or environmental problems, UNSDG is the best way to do it. So we support startups who comes with solutions for catalyzing the SDG or achieving the SDGs. So as I mentioned earlier, AIC Raise SDG Saturdays is a initiative from AIC Raise to learn and know more the Agenda 2030 and why we have the SDGs. So we have a lot of partners who collaborated with us to support giving perks, labs, and knowledge sharing, also capital. So this is how AIC works with startups. So if you want to know more about AIC, join us. And today we have RAJIVE GULATI sir from United Nations Technology Innovation Lab. I think it's rather I introducing him. Let us hear from himself about his quick introduction and how he works with UN and how the innovation works with UN and all the initiatives. Please, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you and good evening, everybody who has joined till now. It'll be a very, very interesting evening while interacting with you and know more about from your side instead of that. I mean, like what you know about the SDGs and how the innovations are accelerating them, how the technologies are embedded into that. And these are becoming like more important looking into the present scenario. Now, to introduce myself, I spent almost 35 years working at different levels with the government, the state level, at the central level. And now currently I am with the United Nations Technology Innovation Lab. I will explain in detail what in short, the UNTIL is. But where my first love started with the sustainability, that was something which I wanted to start my journey. I want to share with this in a story style because I live, breathe with the startups day and night. So storytelling becomes in a habit, or we become a habitual while telling the stories to involve the people with us. There was a time, a couple of decades ago, when we found that the hilly areas or the remote areas, they were having an issue in the healthcare. People, you can say from the Northeast, when they have some trauma cases or any accident cases, they have to drive to the Calcutta only to get those facilities. One of my friends, he started with help from some German university. He installed some imaging equipment over there. And then, unfortunately, just for a couple of weeks, it worked. And then there was nobody to take care of that imaging center. He approached the Govt of India's Ministry of IT. At that time, we used to call it DOE. They approached us with the Govt of Haryana. We visited this site. We studied the overall environment over there. Like, it is not just keeping an equipment at a place or keeping something, a tool over there. Is that ecosystem which can facilitate that whole story is existing or not? Are the radiologists there? Are the neurophysicians there? Are the neurosurgeons there? So there was a lot of gap. Are the trained manpower to maintain those high-end equipments were there? No. So what I want to say is, if there is any, what you call a challenge, one should go and stay at the grassroots level to understand what is the reality, what is the fact, what is at the grassroots level, what is the challenge. only then you come out within a solution where some ecosystems can be built. So that was my first teaching from that. And then we did a beautiful experiment over there. And then that ecosystem worked so nicely that within 4 to 5 years, a full-fledged healthcare facilities taking care of trauma was developed over there. And people used to get treated. Not many lives were saved over there. So this journey helped me to find out, I mean, it is not only playing with the government or doing like that. Let us, when sitting with the government, create those ecosystems which facilitate the environment, which facilitate the, the innovators. And I started saying that let us create playground for the innovators. One such experiment was done recently with Govt of Haryana, where we created an innovation hub where what I can say, I mean, from startup communities from NESCOM, the Internet Mobile Associations, Center of Excellence Act, we all work together and start bubbling and addressing all the challenges. So this journey helped me to find out, I mean, in 2015, when the Sustainable Development Goals were introduced, like how to get aligned, how to set our mind, and how to set our policies, and how to set our own innovation thoughts along with the SDGs. So this motivated me to work along the SDG framework, which brought me in any way with God's grace with the United Nations Technology Innovation. Now, you must be I always like when I interact, I always start with the very, very layman thoughts. In our family also, when we grow our kids, we have got some goals in our mind, some targets in our thoughts, that if even we grow in our education system also, in our career system also, we always kept, after this year, we want to be like this. After this year, I want to have my house. After this year, I want to have my family and all those things. And along that, we started building small ecosystems, small targets to achieve that. And then when at a broader level, when the countries were facing different challenges with the humanity, with the social challenges, you can say, with the food, with the, the sustainability of different, the education systems also, and how to address them, the United Nations started asking them what are the best things to look into them. We collected the data, built these goals, where you can say to address the humanity, to address this planet to be worth living. They created these 17 goals with 169 targets in 2015. Now, along this journey, they also found to achieve this under the 2030 mission, there are a lot many challenges. And those challenges can only be addressed when the partner countries start participating into that in the right manner. Right manner means, I mean, the problem which Finland or Europe is facing, may not that problem will be there with the district of Gurgaon or at any other Andhra or as I say Telangana. Every state, every unit, every community has different challenges, but their goals are common. Goals are those which can be addressed, which can be aligned with that, but with the common communities. So to start this, they found that technologies were playing a major role. Now, how technology is playing a major role, they started debating on that. And within the UN ecosystem, United Nations Office of Information Communication Technology, known as UNOICT, they gave a platform that let us work with the partner countries, the partner states we call it, and build our United Nations Technology Innovation Labs to start addressing these local challenges also and how we can connect these dots. So if you allow or if you have got any question, otherwise I will share you some mission and all those things through the screen, because those are very typical words which I don't want to memorize, but I want to share so that people should start understanding what are our missions and all those things. Is it good if I share some slides over there?
Good.
Yeah.
So it will be easier to understand your 30-year-old journey. 3 decades and sustainability is a great thing.
Yes. So when I say the United Nations Technology Innovation Labs, they have got a vision which says that a world where the benefits of digital innovations are harnessed for sustainable development to empower people and societies and accessible to all, within a mission to use digital innovations to accelerate the achievement of the sustainable development. So broadly speaking, these are some things which align our thoughts to move forward. So when we say that what we do, we leverage emerging technologies and innovation in support of the achievement of the sustainable SDGs. Then Until works to support and harness innovation and emerging technologies to create impact on our most pressing development challenges. So what we've started building these labs, and I am proud to say that India is the 4th such lab, or it is the youngest lab among the series of labs which have been opened. The first was in Finland, then Egypt, Malaysia, and the 4th is. And this lab is supported by Govt of Haryana and co-located with what I say with these partners in that hub only, where 10,000 NESCOM 10,000 is there, while 10X is also incubating the startup. North India's first center of excellence is there. We are skill India, or skilling the people, persons with disabilities over there. Then the CSC, where the grassroots challenges are taken care by Ministry of IIT, SPV, Special Purpose Vehicles, we call the Common Service Center Academy, is also situated within that. And the state took a great decision for bringing the United Nations Technology Innovation Labs along with this. Now, every lab is working under different thematics, looking into the local partners' requirements. In India, the 4 thematics which you have been chosen, they are addressed to the health, to the quality education, to the women empowerment, and sustainable cities and communities. We generally call them or align them with the SDG 3, 4, 5, and 11. Okay, so when we say like this is in a system where government, citizens, academia, and industry, they are working together within one campus. This is in a community who is addressing this. Now, this picture is very familiar who is working within the SDG framework. So where we say like these colorful indicators, they always help us to believe and work for this planet, for the people and the prosperity. And Until is accelerating all those innovations where we feel that this planet can be, this Mother Earth can be the place where everybody should have a right to live in happily and enjoy this. So I will take the things further. Is anything, Eben, you can look into that? I can take my journey. In a bigger way. But if you feel like asking something, I can work on that, and then.
I think like this is quite a brief about what you do and how Until works and all. So we have a limited time and 20 minutes is over. So probably we can answer the consolidated questions that we got from the participants. Then later move an open session with the participants.
Yes.
What do you say, sir?
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, carry on because we have got a limited time. Yes.
Yeah. So probably I'll be sharing the questions that we consolidated.
Sure.
And
Sure.
So probably for the listeners, I'm sharing it with participants also. So the first question, why technology and innovation is essential for achieving SDGs? If you have some concrete examples in your experience, please brief about the examples and take us through the journey of how technology innovation help us to
Right.
achieve SDGs.
Great. So when we consider technology and innovations, the very first thing, because we want to address the things for the society, for the masses. I mean, you must have observed during this challenging period through which we are passing, it is the only technology which helped us to do whatever possible or feasible within the limited environment is. So technology, when we had to reach masses, when we had to take fast decisions, when we had to take what you call a decision based on the data generated through the innovations or the technologies which are helping at the grassroots level, they come at the forefront to look into that they are the essential parts of dissipating in masses any innovation if it has to work to create an impact. So no doubt the technology, I can say, is an essential part for every innovation to work and give us a real path for that. Now, how it works, how this is, I can say, I will explain it with some of the examples. You must have seen during this pandemic, this COVID-19, most popular technologies which has been used to create a social distance and creating a social impact is an app. It is a simple technology which is working and helping the state government, the central governments to keep the people moving for their routine works. Second example, which will come in forward, that how the technology is going to affect. Now you must have seen there is a movement of labor. They are coming from one place going to the other place, and everybody is looking into the agriculture field also. Yesterday only, there are many announcements given by the government of India where they are looking how the innovation in agriculture can take place. Now the question is, do our agriculture people require the funds, the fertilizers to look into it? The debate is no. They require the technology, the AI, the IoT to take a decision, because they are at this, what you call, their yield depends upon how fast and how right decision they take, even for like watering their planes, watering their farmhouses, even water management, the disease management, where the drone started working, the labor management, the sowing of the fields also. There's many technologies started helping them in practically increasing the yield, and then we get this is towards attaining the sustainability development goals where we are looking for the no hunger. So yes, technology and innovation, they are at the front foot to dissipate to the masses, to create an effect among the society, and there are many living examples. You name anything, you will find it. Maybe in healthcare at the rural area also, like that also everybody is now started talking, I mean, how telemedicine can reach up to the masses at the village level. So it is through the technology. Yes, any other question?
Okay, thank you for taking us through the experience. Even in the pandemic, we came up with a ventilator and a face shield in the second day of the curfew, and we know that in my personal experience, I believe that technology can do cater for a mass number of people in a very short time. That's the biggest possibility of using technology and terms of healthcare or education. I think most of us face through this pandemic crisis because we understand how we can easily achieve SDGs through technology. And now the second question. Startups and SME founders and entrepreneurs can contributing for maximization of the contribution of science, technology, and innovation. to the achievement of goals. So how you feel like how startup MSME founders, entrepreneurs can contribute for maximizing the impact of achieving SDGs. So how you feel about entrepreneurship and SDGs?
Okay, great. See, let me first explain you, the role and the importance of MSMEs. Now, these are the enterprises where they are responsible for significant employment and income generation opportunities across the world, because they are the major driver of poverty alleviation and well-being. Now, MSME tend to employ a large share of the vulnerable sectors. You must have seen that there's a workforce, generally like the women, the youth, the people from the poorer households. So they are aligned with most of the MSMEs, and they are the main income provider for the income distributor at the base of the pyramid. So they are the people from where even India and other countries started looking into how the jobs at the grassroots level, how we can skill those people at the grassroots level, along with those technologies we are going to imply, and on the production side also, how they can help us, how those innovations which are to be distributed, releasing the urban burden and taking it away from urban burden, and the MSME start working on that, on the mass productions, on the addressing different challenges over there. So no doubt MSME are going to play a major role where they are going to address a major portion of a society, which we generally call the bottom of a pyramid. And you name any technology. Like, let us take an example. I say, if I have to even provide healthcare services next door at my PHC or CSC level in a village, where most of the villages are now connected in India through a broadband connectivity. So that's not an issue. We need a trained manpower to teleradiology. We need people who can address that, equipment which has to be installed over there, or these equipments are needed in bulk. And these productions and all those can start at those, because they like, you must have even seen that the production where the production units are there, even for the mobile production units, they don't need a flatted type of construction. They need a larger. So you don't find these type of in urban like in Gurgaon or other places where there is no space. So these productions have to be moved, and the ancillaries, these MSMEs has to work along that. The same model which a long go back Maruti built, where bringing the major thing over there, and along with that, a small ecosystem also started building that. So they can play a major role. The MSME are the next in thing for utilizing the startup innovations to bring a major change.
Okay, I think it's a huge insight for our audience who are like people like in India. If you search, every city will have a kind of hub for MSME, and the Sitco. Like, if you take the government have more focus on MSME and SSI industries, and like how like when this startup founders or entrepreneurs connect with MSMEs, it will be easier to achieve like the goal number 2 or the no poverty, or achieving the sustainable communities and all. So now we will go to the next question. The third question is about, I think it's already we answered, like from your experience, what are the technologies which can help achieving SDGs? I think most of the technologies, but if you can point out 2 or 3 SDGs, it will be easier.
Yeah, like when we talk, you can say all the frontier technologies, starting from the DNA sequence to 3D printing or renewable energy, to the biodegradable plastic, the machine learning, to the artificial intelligence, the IoT, blockchains, this cybersecurity. You just name anything which is not helping. Let me take one example of the recent. Like now everybody started asking for donations. Even the government has started asking for the donations. The NGO started taking the donation to address this challenge. Now, to build the trust into it, that every penny which has been given, it has been used at the right stage and to the right, for getting the right impact. The blockchain technology for this tracking the donations is becoming so popular that even the Until has built a solution with one of his partner innovators. Even the other startups within India, they started building the trust among the money which started traveling even during these donations. The drone technologies started helping the agriculture that at what time, what disease is there, prior to that they can give it, give an intimation and what particular disease is affecting a particular portion. They don't have to spray like the field for that. And then they have to take that particular area only where this disease started, and drone is playing a major role in it. So these are some living examples which is even for like the IoT is helping for which I already explained you in the agriculture for watering the fields at the right quantity of water and when it is required, and while sitting in the rooms or sitting in their homes also. Yes, please.
So, adding to that, we have a startup who works in blockchain technology. As we told about blockchain application, we have a startup called Circle who works with recycling or upcycling of the PET bottles to the T-shirts. So they collect the PET bottles, and the T-shirt, the buyer of the T-shirt can check the entire line of where the bottle collected to till the manufacturing. So that is one absolute use case of blockchain which I saw in reality. So like this, if you take AI, I think all the technologies can helping the SDGs. Thank you, sir, and we'll be going to the next question. So it is about what are the key pointers to keep in mind for formulating an action plan for startups to achieve SDGs. I think mostly the kind of corporates, they have key pointers or KPIs for formulating an action plan. But taking a startup who have only 2 founders or 3 founders and working on building a product, how they can formulate an action plan?
So I always love talking the basics only. So let us take a very basic point. What is the agency, the government agency in India who is taking care of the SDG 2030 mission? It is the NITI Aayog. Okay, and NITI Aayog has also built a monitoring dashboard, taking the inputs from all the states. They launched it 2 years back only, but the recent report which they launched is in December 2009. So we call the name SDG dashboard, SDG 2019 December, and it is available at their website. I will share you. Now, my thought is if any startup, because most of the startups, they are not aware of how to align their innovation along with which SDG. They are working, they are busy. I know there's a the manpower is very small, and to analyze the data and all those things, they need secondary help from the units like the Until and other. So I will let you know how Until is helping them. But let me complete this. Go through those what you call the dashboards or what the monitoring SDG framework, SDG index they have created for all these states. Some state is good in health, some is good in no poverty, some is good in in addressing the hunger. So these indicators will help the regional startups who are working in those hubs to help the state, and then look into what are these policies which are helping the state, they're helping to address those. So I was going through one of the document over here, which says that all the policies, most of the policies, NITI Aayog has aligned with these SDGs only. To name that, the SDG 1, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Number 2, SDG 2, midday meals. SDG 3, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. Number 4, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. 5, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the gender equality. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. for cleanliness, SDG 6, 7, National Solar Mission. Number 8 is for NREGA, and number 9 for Make in India. So these type of policies, you name all the 17, the things started moving, all the 16, 17, they started on the moving along with them. So my suggestion to the young startups who are working on their innovation should go through these agendas which central government, the state governments are working on them, and then look into the support of the local hubs. Until is creating its own, what you call an ecosystem, where they are building their manpower and aligning these projects within the UN ecosystem also, so that they should not face any problem in understanding this awareness, dissipating and all those. So that is my basic suggestion. If any startup is there, he wants to do something, he can work, create his pointers and all those data along with these policies to really accelerate themselves.
Until we are here in the South, we are the UNSDG focused incubator, supported by NITI Aayog itself, helping the startups to formulating their action plan aligned to kind of SDG. So now we'll move to the next question, sir. So the next question is about it's completely about the UNTILabs. So how we can assess platforms like UNTILabs or United Nations, UNESCO? They have lot more knowledge platforms. Even UN have lot more resources. How the startups or even the common people can access to this knowledge platforms, and if you can point out where a few among them, it will be very easy for the audience.
You allow me to share 2 slides into this.
Yeah, please, please.
So let me first the last question where I says this is in a very living example. If you want, I mean, I can address this at this moment also. Like in COVID-19, the people started looking in that how the SDGs and how the innovations are can play a role into this. So we formulated a small thing for the knowledge of our audience. One says there's no poverty, zero hunger, and good health. During this COVID people, you must have seen most of there are a couple of fields where the people started losing their jobs. They start losing the income, leading to a vulnerable segment of society and family which fall below poverty line. So this is aligned directly with SDG 1, and how to address this solution is an innovator is the next. So second is like food production and distribution also disturbed, which is again a challenge becoming aligned with the zero hunger. I mean, this is becoming a more pile-up situation where this challenge has to be handled more seriously now. Now, good health, everybody understands like this devastating effects on the health has created a big thought at every stage of the government or with the public also. Now, SDG 4, you must have seen a sea change into the education system. Schools are closed, remote learning, blended education now started coming up. But how many people, how many students at those places where the accessibility to these, are they aligned to this thing? This is a challenge. SDG 8 becomes an economic activity suspended, low income, unemployment for certain occupancies, less work. So everything affected during that. And even the SDG 11, the sustainable cities and the communities, where so the population living in slums face higher risk for exposure to the COVID, high population density, poor sanitation and conditions. Recently, I was attending a webinar where there was a big discussion that the vulnerable area at the slums, why the companies, why the industries, they have not started looking into them for providing the real sustainable communities for to be on the safer side for the urban place, where parallelly these slum areas are working over there. And big industrialists are, the builders are coming out with the solutions into this. So all this, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 and 11, when you say the local employment, the migration of the workers at the rural areas, how to create their jobs at that, there the innovations are now to be built. Why I can't build an innovation which can produce more yield and I keep that labor there only for earning their for daily meals also. Health, can't we train the people, the skill manpower and those tools which can teach them from for sitting over here on the healthcare, on the paramedical staffs and all those things, education, the agriculture. So these are some of the examples. And then you said the people can took like a snapshot of these. There are a lot many websites which are the Until has its own until.un.org, where we are providing, we have even created our advisory boards in IPs and even open source development also. So they are as a pro bono available to startups if they want to have any help out of that. And this is the beauty of UNTILabs, that innovations which can be built over locally, like some of the challenges of African challenges are same as that of the Indian locations in some of the Indian parts also. So even we experimented it, taking those innovations across the border. Some of the innovations were taken from here to Egypt, and they started working on the environmental side, on the health side also. So this beauty of the UNTILab, where the acceleration with the local ecosystem along with the cross borders, and then how to go through this. If you will see the 50breakthroughs.org, this is again a very beautiful site where the latest, what you call the SDGs and the startup and the innovation started working. Startup India site, the NITI.Govt.in, the SDG Index dashboard. So these are a couple of things where these people can visit and can assess that, and Until is there to help them out to align their innovations for their mission.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. For the next question was like, I think you already answered it in the previous slides. Mm-hmm. So it was like about the impact of COVID, whether it's an opportunity or challenge for startup working in SDGs. So if you have any tips, like you already covered the impact of COVID-19 on the SDGs. Now, if you can share some of the yes, like tips to the audience, how they can change this challenge to an opportunity for the using innovations or for the startups.
See, in one of my webinars with the Govt of Gujarat recently, the Secretary Higher Education was there. So we were debating on this also. The interesting part at this moment is, you must have seen, there are a couple of innovations which are lying in our labs. Ventilator is not a new thing. See, a couple of decades back, the Indian people only developed that. Now the question is, who is there to endorse it as a standard, which can be used as a non-invasive, or any healthcare can be used as an invasive thing within the healthcare ecosystem. We need the startups to start working or start looking into the global standard also. You must have heard, it is not just creating an innovation and keeping in your labs. The ecosystem should know that is that innovation which has been made can meet the different standards, the federal standards, the European standards, so that they can get acceleration. Second thing which I noticed is where this become an opportunity. Couple of years back, there was an mission from government that a digital inclusion in every family, at least training one person in a family on the digital inclusion was there. Lot of money, lot of acceleration, lot of skilled people they worked on. Now looking into the current scenario, you must have seen, if a, God forbid, a person gets some ailment, even a routine ailment in the family, He can't reach in a hospital for even getting it checked up on a proper way because of the scarcity also, without the other contained things also. So the next opportunity is train your next door, train the people in your community, train the people in your with the resident welfare association, within the societies as a paramedical staff. Old people, which are now becoming an increasing part of our society, they need the health at their doorstep, health from a distance. Where the telemedicine, now people get used to it, they become a next norm in the urban areas, also in the rural areas. For that, you need a lot of tools. It is not only the webcam, which can check my throat, which can check my ear, which can check my eyes, which are the 5-6 basic parameters, the pulse, the BP and all those things, but the ear, nose and throat, not the normal webcam. There are special tools which are to look into that and can help the doctor at a distance within a good resolution that what the decision he can take at a preliminary stage. So the production of these tools, and this is not a rocket science into it. Anybody can look into that. We have got high resolution, small cameras available in our mobile, but we have to create those tools which can go up to that cavity and can help the doctor giving the right images to help them. So like this, in healthcare, I already talked about the agriculture, to increase the produce. And then another thing which is coming forward is building the trust. Everybody is now looking into trust factor. Trust factor, example which I shared recently also is like in Bangalore, a biryani manufacturer started putting a slip of the temperature of the person involved in creating this. So it built in a trust among those people also. So these are small innovations which the startups start aligning into them. Then the government is very much aggressive in accepting them and accelerating them at all levels. Yes, please.
Thanks for that. So now we'll take the questions from the audience. So we have a question from Arun Nair. So what are the most important SDGs for India, and are they really affected by COVID-19? The second part of question is already answered. Maybe the first part you can give kind of add few more points to the first part. What are the most important SDGs for India? So as a nation.
There is a study which KPMG has brought about a year or 2 years back only, where it said the most prioritized SDGs among the N100 companies in India are SDG 1, 3, 5, 6 and 7. That means the no poverty, good health, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, and definitely the 7 owns your what you call the affordable and clean energy. And just to share with you that for this clean air and the energy and all the carbon footprints, lot many organizations are working, and UNIDO, United Nations Industrial Development Organization, along with the BEE and all this, I have already shared that the website of that. They are already running a what you call in a competition where they want to utilize it at an industrial point, the different energies for a proper way to reduce the CO2 carbon footprint on that. So these are the things where any innovators can work immediately, or we can align that also. No doubt, healthcare and education, everybody is looking on the top. The supply chain, how to maintain that supply chain effectively within a trust to the people. And these are a couple of things which are like coming immediately in my mind. They can work on that.
Okay, thank you. The next question, and audience, if you have any questions, you can ask in the Q&A session. We are very happy to answer it. And now we have a question from Sunny Anand. Like whether a private agency can set up a UNTILab in India. So if so, what? Like I think it's a question to answer offline, or maybe.
No, I will say as simple as it is. It is not like a private company. The UN SDG 17 is on the top priority. That is on the partnership. Okay, we are there to partner to you if you have got technology solutions, you have got that ecosystem which can accelerate. It's nothing like going there, that platform. Until is building a platform, it can't go into the next door also. It can go to the next door with the help of the partners. Okay.
Got it. So probably like we look forward to partner with Until as AIC Raise a incubator to catalyze more activities of Until in South. We are very looking forward for the fruitful collaborations with Until and the coming years. So now we have a question from Dr. Bhuvaneshwari. If an analysis made from the COVID-19 affected patient in India, I think it's a common question, like whom to approach and get the permission. So if you found someone is affected with COVID, you can reach out to any of the nearest public health department or a government hospital. They can take care of. And if there is a online hotline number available, you can reach out to them also. This is relevant for the session also. Sorry for taking the question. And now we have a question. How you foresee the evolution of technology innovation from Indian startup ecosystem, which support the UN SDGs globally? So how Indian startups supports as a global for achieving the global SDGs?
Let me give you two practical examples which we already experimented it. See, Finland is very popular about the gamification. Okay. Most of the games have been developed in Finland, and they are also gamifying the education in a very, very nice manner. But the interesting part is those things, if I bring to India, there is a language, there are the characters which we have to change. There are so many other things which we have to change to build it. So the interesting part is the technologies which are already creating an impact. We brought them in India on the education side. We got them immune or modified or aligned to the Indian environment education system, and we experimented it in a very nice way. And I'm happy to share with you, though it is not like covered in a bigger way. That experiment got an appreciation from UNICEF also. So UNICEF started working very closely with Until locally on the technology part, where we started looking into the education in a better mode to reach to the every corner of India, to every person of it. So these are the something. And then the second is one of the technology looking into the water, controlling the water, which was developed with the startup who has been mentored by me inside this hub only. This technology has been given to Egypt to be utilized where the water is scarce, and how to control that water scarcity and how to maintain that through IoT sensors and through controlling through the what you call a mobile app. So yes, there is a lot of opportunity where the innovations, that is in fact the real mandate of the Until, looking where the innovations lying all over the world, working with their partners, and then looking into the and getting them aligned to the local environment. Only then these SDGs will be achieved in a right manner.
Oh yes, please. Amazing, sir. I think now it's more like kind of startups going global. If we have the cross-border collaborations are much more active than the past decade because accessibility is more in this decade, and in the future also we will have more accessibility. And I think cross-border collaborations and multi-stakeholder partnerships will be the easiest way. We can put up the kind of SDGs in a global expansion. All the Indian innovations can take up the global thing, and already from the kind of Finland or Nordic countries have more innovations they can bring into India for better achieving SDGs. So then
not only on this, let me just flag small thing over there. Like we have got the access to the big academia, big research lab, the MIT, the Stanford also. So
okay.
they are working very closely with Until to exchange their knowledge or help the startup or the innovations over here also. Not over here, across the world also through the Until Labs.
Okay.
Second is we keep doing some hackathons also. The last hackathon was on the Reboot the Earth. Now we are doing it Reboot the Ocean. You can visit our websites and then we'll find it. Ask your participants to be a part of that, because these are something which are the futuristic things and you have to align along with it. Yeah, please.
Okay. I think like Reboot Ocean will be a kind of great opportunity for the participants to attend with and explore the innovations. And now we have the question like, why UNTILab India choose SDGs 3, 4, 5, and 11? Is there any specific reason for choosing it?
It's like it is from the state which partnered with us. So we asked the state, I mean, what are the, it's not like we are not confined to these 3 or 4 or whatever the things are. The state asks, okay, these are the priority things where they want to work. Okay, so we chosen that for the state, but our broader spectra is for all the SDGs.
Okay, thank you, sir. So now we have another question. Does Until provide learning resources for startup founders and personnel for understanding better about SDGs and entrepreneurs? I think you already shared the links. Probably after the session, you can share the links with me. I can send it to across the participants.
Yes. Another one small thing we are this like we are planning a regular, like maybe a weekly or twice a month or thrice a month, the sessions from our international resources for creating the awareness in different fields. Because in cybersecurity, we are also working in a big way. On the blockchain, we are working in a big way. Rather, in blockchain, we have provided a solution through the blockchain for the land registry for Afghanistan also. So these are the knowledge which you are keeping, and we want to share it through our own advisory groups, through our own mentors, through our own pool of knowledge people across the borders also.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think as like AIC Raise SDG Saturdays, it will be a kind of regular event where people can learn more about SDGs. And I think in India, like even if you take me before 2 years, for me SDGs is a kind of colorful logo. But now I understood SDGs much better, and I feel like more startup founders and facilitators in the ecosystem will need more guidance to how we can align with SDGs. So now the next question from Mamta Jain. So you mentioned about the gamified solution for education. How it going to reach the rural India? Is smartphone will be a constraint, or do you have? If you can brief about that example, it will be easier.
Yes, yes. See, there are startups who have built a solution along with this whole story, where they are converting into the local languages all these gamifications. Second is that they should work at a low network bandwidth also. So it's not going to be a big challenge, and even these things are like a standalone also. They may not require the bandwidth. They can be transferred onto your local platforms also. So even one of the startup came forward. He is building a standalone, what you call in a tablet or something of that sort, where the things can be loaded through some of the high-speed servers also, and they can keep assessing that from locally. So that we are working very closely. Even we have with the common service centers. I am in touch with their the person who are dissipating this type of knowledge at the village level, the grassroots level. How these can be utilized, or the knowledge can be crossed, can be exchanged for a better society also.
Okay, sir. So now we will open mic for the participants, and audience, if you have any question, you can use the option of raise your hand. We will keep your mic open for you, and you can directly interact with Rajiv sir. So we got the first hand raised. Neeraj, Neeraj, environmentalist. So Neeraj, you can unmute yourself and ask question. Go ahead, Neeraj. Neeraj, you can ask.
सर से मेरा क्वेश्चन है, ये एसडीजी का जो अचीवमेंट टारगेट के लिए कोई भी अगर प्लान करके प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन काम करती है, तो उसके लिए फंडिंग का सोर्स क्या हो सकता है सर? उसके लिए स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने कोई डिसाइड किया ना सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट डिसाइड किया है सर? उसमें कुछ नॉलेज
इसके यस, अगर आप अपना माइक म्यूट कर देंगे तो थोड़ा सा इजी हो जाएगा. यस, थैंक यू वेरी मच नीरज जी. नीरज जी, मैंने आपको ये कम्युनिकेट किया, एवरी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट through the central government has got the advisory to work along these SDGs and look into how they can be grown. No doubt during this pandemic, the things have slightly brought, or different things have been brought on the top level, but no doubt these things will be definitely, the policies are there. Only thing is how your innovation or how your what you call the services are creating an impact. Those are to be measurable and in real sense could be aligned within the government or the state government mandate to fetch any type of support financially also. So I know the people are lagging into that inclusion, and that inclusion is really be evolved through local what you call the support of the innovators or innovative hubs, or what you call the institutions who are really working, the government institutions who are working along with this. That is my suggestion. I mean, like, you can take that path where the impact can be built and can be a proven what you call a document can be shown to the government for getting any support out of it.
Thank you, sir. I think Neeraj got an answer. Now, Kadiresan have a question like, will Until play a role in obtaining international IPR? So what kind of support can provide in commercialization, I want to say?
We can provide the knowledge to you. Okay, we are not the agency for giving it. We can tell you through our advisory boards that you are going in the right direction, or these are the things which can help you in getting these things. NRDC is also in the local, we are working very closely with the NRDC, which is I got the mandate in India also for the IP and all those things. So we can, your things can be aligned locally from that, or any knowledge help is required, can be set from that for any international.
Got it, sir. So any more questions from the audience, or else we can wind up. It's 7 o'clock, and I think like we went through a great insightful session. Our audience got benefited, and we are very privileged as being at AIC Raise. We are very privileged to host you, and I think like can we Geeta asked a question like whether Until can be used as a virtual lab or something. Do you have any option?
In fact, this is in a world of virtually connecting and getting accelerated. Yes, okay. We are already partnered with a couple of across the states. We have started partnering with the accelerators also, and our virtual knowledge, and we have got a physical space where we can incubate people. But looking into the current scenario, yes, our knowledge and all those things can be shared virtually also.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining for the session, and amazing session. We will be sharing the slides and knowledge from the Rajiv sir through emails, and we will be coming back with another super expert to understand decode SDG next week. See you. Until then, see you. And
thank you very much.
Look forward for the partnership with UNTILabs in South for the partnership with AIC Raise and UNTILabs sooner. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining, and thanks all the participants who made useful with the session. And see you again with another SDG Saturday. Till then, bye.